Many people believe success depends on luck, talent, or opportunity. But there is something even more powerful than all of these. It is the way we think. Our thoughts quietly shape the way we see the world. They influence our decisions, our confidence, and even the results we get in life. Some people see problems everywhere. Others see possibilities. Today's story is about a man who discovered how powerful positive thinking can be. So listen carefully until the end. In a busy city filled with noise and rushing crowds, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan worked at a small design company. He was hardworking and intelligent, but he had one habit that quietly held him back. He expected things to go wrong. Whenever a new project arrived, Ethan would think, "This will probably fail." If his boss asked him to present an idea, he would worry, "What if everyone thinks it's terrible?" Because of this, Ethan rarely spoke confidently. He often stayed quiet during meetings. Even when he had good ideas, he kept them to himself. Over time, he began to feel stuck in his life. Meanwhile, his colleague Lucas seemed completely different. Lucas wasn't necessarily more talented than Ethan, but he always believed things could work out. When a project looked difficult, Lucas would say, "This might be challenging, but we'll figure it out." When he made mistakes, he would laugh and say, "Well, now I know what not to do next time." Ethan never understood how Lucas stayed so calm and optimistic. One evening, after a long day at work, Ethan and Lucas walked home together. Ethan sighed and said, "I don't understand how you stay so positive all the time." Lucas smiled. "It's not magic," he said. "It's practice." Ethan looked confused. "Practice?" he asked. Lucas nodded. When something goes wrong, most people automatically imagine the worst outcome. But our minds are powerful. If we train them to look for solutions instead of problems, everything begins to change. Ethan wasn't sure if he believed this, but a few days later, something happened that made him think about Lucas's words. Their company received a very important project from a large client. The entire team felt pressure. If the project succeeded, the company would grow. If it failed, they could lose the client. During the meeting, the manager asked, "Does anyone have ideas for the design concept?" Ethan actually had a strong idea, but his old thoughts immediately appeared. What if it's wrong? What if everyone hates it? So he stayed silent, just like always. Then Lucas spoke up. He shared an idea confidently. The manager listened carefully. "It's interesting," he said, "but it still needs improvement." Lucas nodded calmly. "No problem," he said. "We'll make it better." Ethan noticed something surprising. Lucas wasn't afraid of being imperfect. He simply focused on progress. That night, Ethan sat in his apartment thinking. He realized something important. For years, he had been letting negative thoughts decide his actions. He wasn't failing because he lacked ability. He was failing because he lacked belief. So he decided to try something different. A small experiment. The next time a negative thought appeared, he would replace it with a better one. Not fake positivity, just a more helpful perspective. The next morning at work, Ethan faced his first test. The manager asked him to help with a difficult part of the project. His mind immediately said, "This will be too hard." But this time, he paused. Then he told himself, "This will be challenging, but I can learn while doing it." It was a small change, but it felt powerful. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, he began working step by step. Hours passed, and slowly, the task started making sense. For the first time in a long time, Ethan felt confident. Over the next few weeks, he continued practicing positive thinking. Whenever he made a mistake, he asked, "What can I learn from this?" Whenever he felt afraid to speak, he reminded himself, "My ideas deserve a chance." Little by little, people began noticing the change. Ethan spoke more during meetings. He shared creative suggestions. And one day, something unexpected happened. The manager said, "Ethan, I'd like you to present the final design to the client." Months ago, Ethan would have panicked, but now he took a deep breath. "I can do this," he said to himself. During the presentation, he explained the concept clearly and confidently. The client loved it. The project was approved immediately. After the meeting, Lucas smiled and said, "See, your thinking changed," and everything else followed. Ethan realized something important in that moment. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means believing that problems can be solved. And when you believe that, your mind begins searching for solutions instead of excuses. This story reminds us of a powerful truth. Our thoughts are like seeds. If we plant doubt, fear will grow. If we plant belief, confidence will grow. The world outside may not change instantly, but the world inside your mind will. And once your mind changes, your actions change, your opportunities change, and eventually, your life changes too. So the next time your mind says, "I can't do this," pause for a moment and ask yourself, "What if I can?" Because sometimes, one small positive thought is all it takes to start changing your entire future.